But I came from a very difficult situation, but I overcame. And something always told me that maybe I wasn't born equipped, but that somebody from up above was going to equip me for what my life purpose is. And so I stand before you here today just wanting to tell you a little bit about that. Because before you hear, why do I want to become a judge, you should know who I am. You should know who Mr. Shostokis is, who Mr. Mann is, Mr. Branning, Mr. Fightballer, Mr. Hayward. You should know who we are. Then, when you read our materials, and mine is the red, white, and blue. When you read our materials, then you'll get a better sense for who we are and where we come from and how we approach things and why we did the things that we did. So, for me, it's been a real privilege and a real honor and a blessing to just get to this point. Really, I do. I feel that way. So now let's get to what you really want to hear. Why do I want to become a judge? Well, first of all, it's because... That's a minute? First of all, because it's an impactful, influential position. It's not the power, it's the impact. These are individuals that are in the courtroom that are going to make an impact on every person that comes through the doors and appears before them. And you want to have people that are not only good people, but are good role models. That have gone through not only, as was said, I think was Dave may have said, or Eric, that is legal experience and life experience. I would add one more. It's not just about legal experience. It's not just about life experience. It's also about caring experience. What have you done with the gifts that you've been entrusted with? What did you do with them? Because you're going to be asked that someday by somebody. And I want to be able to say, well, not only did I make the most of my legal education, not only did I make the most of my life experiences, but I gave back to the community. I was involved, like I've been, in Habitat for Humanity, in Nations Association, in my church, as an usher, as a member of the guide team, as a person who's been on mission trips. Why is that important, you might ask? Because it gives me a unique, well-rounded perspective on life. As a Supreme Court Justice once says, if you want to be a trial judge, you better understand the human condition. And the human condition does not always look alike. It looks very differently. And so I would suggest to you that for the reason that the position is important, it's a 6-year term, so whoever you vote in, you're stuck with that person for 6 years. There is no impeachment proceedings, ladies and gentlemen. Make the right decision. And I know that you will. I know that you'll study us. I'm preaching. I feel like I'm preaching to the choir because you took up your time. You're here because you want to know the candidates and you want to learn. The last thing that I want to say to you about this is that justice matters. I mean, some of you have been in courtrooms before or been with people that went into courtrooms. That becomes, as was said, the most important day in that person's life. And the last thing that you want is TV justice or justice with an attitude. You've heard it. I don't want that. I know you don't want that. You want to be treated with respect. You want to be treated with dignity. You want a fair opportunity for the judge to hear you, listen to you, consider your position, make a ruling, and then understand what that ruling is. Because many people walk away from the courtroom, and it's sad. They walk away from the courtroom having lost their case or having lost their motion, and they can't figure out what they did wrong or what went wrong. And that's unacceptable, because when people do that, when they walk away from our court system, your court system, my court system, taxpayers' court system, and they walk away with that disbelief and just confusion, it does nothing for the credibility, the integrity, and trust of our system. Ladies and gentlemen, the last thing I wanted to indicate as to why I'm running is that I believe that we all get to a point in our lives, and I know I have, where we become successful. All of you in this room are successful. By world standards, you're among the most successful people on the face of this earth. But I submit to you, it's not about success. When you climb that ladder and you get to the top of that ladder of success, dare I say I've been there. You now need to move over to the next ladder, and that's the ladder of significance. And that's why I'm running for judge, because I want to be significant in the lives of individuals that I can impact and influence. It's not a power thing. It's not a money thing. And let me just tell you, by old standards, going for a judgeship position was a retirement. This is not a retirement position, ladies and gentlemen. I'm 47 years old. That means by mandatory retirement is 70 years. I got 23 good years in me to work my butt off. And believe you me, I will do that. Because I want, when you go to court, I want you to have your day in court. And I'll treat you fairly, with dignity, with respect. I'll listen to you. I'll make my decision. And I'll make sure before you leave my courtroom, you know why I ruled. You understood it. Thank you for the opportunity to have me with you.